Good morning, everyone. Arisena writes saying, it's a Black Friday. In the bad happened is always a better following, less bill. So today is a Friday, as Arisena said. Today is a Friday, Black Friday, so no lights. The problem is getting cold in this room. No heating. We won't be able to survive long. But it's good that two heaters were on from 5:30. So, but still a bit warmer here, getting colder and colder. So we may have to finish it a little early. And I put the fire on in the small shrine room. So today, Nelly, Satu, today we don't have electricity, so as a result, we don't have a heating here too. So getting colder and colder, so we may not be able to survive here long. And today is day 2, isn't it?
What?
Of a rain and a wind. Apparently going to be more tomorrow, right? Tomorrow and tomorrow, day after, so 2 days, another storm and rain. So we have to bear. So this already half an hour, no electricity. So
Is it later during the night? Or did it come just back straight on?
it will come back again after, I think, if no electricity fall like previously. There was a one time, twice, 2 weeks, first week, and then after 2 or 3 weeks. Oh, here comes their light. There be light.
Let there be light.
Let there be light. So let there be light. Now electricity back. Now you can hear the heating on. We'll be getting, so half an hour, no electricity and no heating. So let there be light. So we are back. That's again, that emergency lights off automatically. Yeah?
Yeah, the big ones have
Yeah,
gone
big
off.
ones is off. It's strange how it works. Just strange. Anyway, so we got the light back. So good morning, everyone. So today is the 23rd, Friday the 23rd January 2026. So Black Friday, from Black Friday now is the light here again. The Buddha said that reborn or getting rebirths in the samsara is like walking in the darkness without knowing where we are walking to, and bouncing here and bouncing there, and experiencing a suffering in our life. And then a Dhamma is like the light that shows the path to overcome from this darkness of this samsara. That's why when we normally light the candles, we light either 2 or 1. So normally lighting the candle, 2 candles, one signifies the conventional truth and another one signifies the ultimate truth. In the meantime, if you light only one candle, then that signifies the Dhamma. Dhamma as the light, the soul, the path. So the light in a conventional level, this lighting the candles signifies the fading away of the darkness in the room, so that we can see clearly what needs to be understood. And we also will be able to understand that which one is wholesome and which one is not wholesome. So compared to a darkness where there is no light, we won't be able to see at all, and we do not know which direction is the safe and which direction is unsafe. So whenever we light the candle in front of the Buddha, we are basically, now here goes again, it's basically the sign of a light, sign of a light. That signs the day and night. So we are walking the path to the liberation. Buddha gave another simile that when someone is living in the dark, that person doesn't know what is placed in where, and there will be a fear and traumatized and confused and doubts and full of scary and fear. And the very moment when someone comes with the light, then it doesn't matter how shiny that light is. Even the small spark can help us to see things and then able to find a way out from that samsara or from that darkness. So Buddha is like someone who carried the light, that light, and then that light he brought to all of us to see things, what should be seen and what should be understood. So the light is very important to see things as they truly are. And without the light, there is no other life either. So light is something that's a very important factor, and not only from the worldly concept, but also from the spiritual path. Particularly in Buddhism, that's why the teachings of the Buddha is regarded as the light that fades the darkness, that prevents us to return back to the samsara again and again. When I was a young boy, we didn't have electricity. So electricity comes only 1 hour or 2 hours. Initially, we didn't have electricity, so we were using oil lamps in the evening. And oftentimes during the exam, we placed the oil lamp and reading the books in the evenings, preparing for the exams. And next day when we wake up, when we go to clean our faces, we often find our nose is black because of the smoke of the oil lamp. It's a kerosene lamp. And that was the time. Meantime, we used to sit around in a common public ground all the boys and girls sitting around and listening some horror stories. Now it's dark and we didn't have any lights on the streets. So after hearing those horror stories, when we depart from that public place to homes, all goosebumps will stood up, and then everything becomes ghostly and full of a fear, and we run like someone has just seen a tiger or a ghost. And as soon as we get into the house, and we straight away close the door and cuddle into the bed under the duvet, feeling the safe. And particularly in winter time, we used to set up a fire in the middle of on the third floor, in the middle of the floor, and everybody will be sitting around on the fire just to get some heat. And often we found that when you are facing to the fire, you have a heat only at the front. The back will be very cold, and then you have to turn around like a barbecue yourself, getting heat before we go to bed. And our house didn't have windows, and the wind was so cold. Often use plastic sheets to cover the windows, but often it doesn't work, and it didn't have a proper duvets, so it was like a freezing cold. But however, survived, and later on the electricity become more frequent, and it's been about 10 years in Kathmandu Valley, hardly no electricity because of the management, one leader who managed the electricity supply. So nowadays, almost 24 hours there is electricity. So the hardship was there, and we didn't have a proper shoes during the winter time, and it was really freezing cold, and walking on the ice sometimes. I remember after I saved some money, I bought Chinese shoes. Those days I was very fond of the martial art, training martial arts, and watching these martial art movies from China. So I was very fond of that shoes. So I bought that one, and I used it for such a long time that the sole broke, and yet I wear it. And from the look, like you are wearing shoes, but underneath the sole was so thin that all the cold just seeps into your leg. So that was the time, and in Nepal I was, and we all like that, not just me. Majority of us were like that. But we survived, and one of the funny thing was that during the winter time in the village, we have a custom that early morning you have to wake up and go to have a shower, not a bath in the river. So there are about 9 junctions where the 2 rivers comes to join, and each those joints, villagers will be going every day and having a bath. And that tradition probably encouraging villagers to be strong and not to feel cold and thus to stay in the bed. So early morning, one person will be hitting the drum, waking up everybody and collecting the people. And then after 10-15 minutes later, a crowd comes with a drum and other musical instruments, and everybody lined up or joined the crowd and walk along with them to have a bath in those junctions, river junctions where the two rivers meet. And that was, in a way, cold, but also was a belief that you must do, and we did. And although it was cold, but because of you walking such a distance, automatically it heats you up, and you feel, by the time when you come back, you feel okay. And that was the time. Which is the reason why previously, my previous visits, I normally used to give clothes to children for a couple of years. Like the first 2 years, I made t-shirts for children, 1,000 t-shirts for children, and donated for a couple of years. And then 4 years ago, also donated clothes for students, children, and nuns. I remember I went to see nuns in a nunnery. After visiting them, I feel so sorry. They were in up in the hills and very cold. So I offered them. Initially, I offered them blankets and socks for them, and then while I was talking during the tea time what they want, and these nuns came and they wanted to have, I forgot the name for the trouser that sticks with the skin, long johns, for the nuns. They say that we would like to have a long johns. And then straight away I ordered 30, I think 30 of them, 30, because there were nuns, 24 nuns that time, and small nuns training. So I had 30 long johns along with the caps. And after a week later, I went back to give it to them, these nuns, little nuns. And they were like over the moon, so happy. I was saying, coming back to me, Bhante, Sadhu, thank you very much. And normally nuns are not allowed to cuddle monks, but on that day it was exemption. Everybody came and hugged. I was so happy and so joyful. I can't forget the moment that these little nuns came and hugged me. Luckily, nobody took a picture. Otherwise, I will be in trouble. And the same when I went to give this cloths, the winter clothes to the students in the village. It's only until up to the primary level 5, and I was like officially giving them each individuals, and then they were so happy, over the moon. And then the primary 6 came. Why we didn't get it? No, it's not fair, and I feel so sorry. That was the budget that I had at that time. So like that, the winter time was the very hard time there. And as a result of that, we normally do not have a bath for months, and even washing clothes like a month. It was really a hard time. And I remember my father didn't have a shower for maybe a couple of months, and when I went to Nepal, I took them for a tour to Lumbini, which was my wish that my father could visit the birthplace of the Buddha at least for once in his lifetime. So I hired a van and then took all my family members and to the Lumbini where the Buddha was born, and I rented. So we went on to this hotel with the help of my friend. We booked a hotel there. Each rooms had a bath, and I ordered everybody to have a bath. So then my father didn't know, so I turned on the warm water. I soaked my father in that bath for a while, and I cleaned my father's feet, and my father's feet was like this thickness of the dirt. Was a bit hard to scrub it out, but that was a wonderful moment that I had a good laugh and good chat with my father in that hotel room, in the bath, and cleaning, rubbing his feet and cleaning those dusts and out, and then the black dust was in his nails underneath, was so thick, very difficult to take it out, and after that next day I cut his nails, and he was so happy. At the same time, my brother, who is disabled, he can't speak, he can't hear, and I also asked him to had a bath after my father, and he didn't come out from the bath maybe an hour. So he stayed there and playing, so washing himself, and I was so happy. So that was the moment. And then the next day, when I took them to Lumbini, where the Buddha was born, my father's face was so charming. My father's face was so happy, joyous. And then we went into the marker stone where the Buddha was born, first step Buddha placed. So we went there, and my father instantly sang a song about the Buddha visiting the Kapilavastu. So the story, the song is like different gods and a goddess from Hindu myth were leading the path, and the serpent, great serpent, or Payanak, was lying on the ground on the Payanak, or on the serpent. Buddha was walking, and the Lord Shiva was hitting the drum, and Lord Goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, was laying the wealth on the ground, and all the gods and the goddesses were just following the Buddha, like that. And my father just sang that song, was over the moon. So I was so happy. I tried to remember the song, but I forgot the initial one. It's like Brahmana Bhaye Poyeka, something like that. I forgot. Maybe I have to go back and see that song. It's a classical song that people sing, and this song is very famous in Nepal, and this song also demonstrates the harmony between Hinduism and Buddhism, how Buddhism and Hinduism are lived together. But in the meantime, it's more of a like welcoming the Buddha as the Lord of both celestial beings and the human beings, well respected, and he's a teacher of the gods and humans. So that picture depicts in that. So that song actually illustrate this story. And when we were coming back after spend 2 days in Lumbini, it was a wonderful moment, and I was very happy that I managed to take my father to visit the Buddha's birthplace. And on the way back, we were coming back, and then we saw one aeroplane was flying over our van. And my father made such a wonderful, innocent statement that whoever is traveling on the flight, when they pee, those pee must be falling down to the earth, and people will be thinking that's a rain. And I felt I couldn't imagine the way my father explained those pee, and on that day, I told to myself that next year I will be taking you on the flight. So I made a secretly plan for it to take him on the flight to Varanasi, from Kathmandu to Varanasi, which is another one holy place for him where he wanted to visit. But unfortunately, following year when I went back, so he passed away. There comes the light again. So that's how it is, the light, and how it is the moments. So these are some of the stories that are really interesting to hear and really interesting to keep it in our memories. But what I wanted to share probably today is this morning chanting that the Buddha's Dhamma is something like a light that shows, there goes back again, no light. So Buddha's Dhamma is like a light that shows the path, and that path will brings, doesn't matter which extent we study, doesn't matter which extent we practice, at least it sparks the light in our heart, and we can find the real happiness in this moment, and also because to lead to the real happiness. Right. I think I will end here, and with this let's do the chanting.